'Cause it's time to move on now. It's time for Murder Blues.
I've come in my pants. I mean, hello everybody. We are Murder News, part of the Slash and Cast podcast network. Wow,
It's in the game.
It's in the game. I love that.
It's in Ken's butt. I thought, or
It's in
whatever.
Todd's butt.
It's not my butt.
Uh-huh.
Nuh-uh. You did not check, you liar.
That was the most youth-filled I ever heard in my life.
I checked.
Remember, Ken was born in the '90s. She's a sweet summer child, as they would say. Sweet summer child. Dude, I just laugh at because Ken has taught me all these like Canadian or not Canadian Southern sayings and like like bless your sweet like what was it bless your sweet
Bless your heart.
bless your
heart.
Sweet summer child.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah,
combine
I was
them.
out somewhere around here and somebody was like, "Oh, bless your heart," and I was like,
Where are you from?
and they were like, and Jay was like, no, they actually mean it, and then I was like, oh, okay. I was like ready to throw hands. Like, what do you mean?
Dude, everyone. I was at fucking Costco, which was one of those things where like the warmer it gets, apparently the more people show up at Costco, and you have an entire store filled with people, and 50% of them are just on another planet. They're like. And they're like cutting you off with their car. So like I almost fucking threw a right hook into like a girl that looked about 8. I was like, this bitch is glaring at me. I'm gonna throw a fucking right hook. It's gonna be like the little kid in the barn, like bam, hook. But like no, I didn't throw a hook on a small child, but I wanted to. I wanted to throw hooks on a lot of other people because holy shit. And then I'm sitting there like putting shit in my trunk and eating because I was like I'm not gonna sit in the store and eat. And these two ladies are just like in cars, like right in front of the store, like screaming at each other. No one's like, I'm not crazy. I'm not gonna. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening?
That cat is either massive or you are just that small.
No, it's massive.
both.
It's a little both.
That cat is what is he? 25.
Oh my god,
He's 27 pounds.
Okay, yeah, he's almost as big as my pit bull.
Dude, that cat is like that cat the Japanese cat that turns into a school bus. That's what that is. That's like the Japanese school bus cat, but like
I did pick him up because he was gonna start climbing on my legs to get in my lap, and he's too big to jump up here. So,
dude, he would look like my alien tattoo. He would just have skin rips as like he's like using his fat weight to climb up. He was just like
my thighs are covered in scratches from him lately.
Oh man. So I was gonna tell you too that I think I told you Ken already that Katie is doing her St. Jude's thing, and I told her she could choose a tattoo for me at $6,500, and then I'm not even gonna know what it is until it's tattooed on me.
Oh, that's fantastic! I hope
That's
you end up with like a portrait of like Raven Simone or something.
It's
So random. Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, I love
awesome.
it.
It's only supposed to be quarter sized, but I'm assuming it's gonna be a lemon or something like that because that's what like I don't know if Brian knows the what's a lemon story, but like so I was streaming with Katie one day at her house, and we were talking about raspberries, like when you blow in someone's belly.
Yeah.
And so she's like, "Have you tried giving Gizmo a lemon?" And I thought it was something like a lemon, like a raspberry. So I was like, "What's a lemon?" And she just stared at me like I was the biggest idiot in the world. And so there's a reoccurring thing which has evolved into like they have a emote of me as a lemon, and I'm just like, God damn it, God damn it.
I think that's a perfect tattoo. I think that you need to get that anyway.
I think that's perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you
I
should
also
just get that anyway.
I also want to remind everyone that the origin of raspberry flavoring as well as vanilla came from a beaver's anal glands.
That is
Yep.
You're
true. Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I love beaver, but Jesus Christ, this isn't.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Kind of. Bless your heart.
Bless your sweet summer child heart. Bless it. Bless it. Bless it. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me today, but here we are. Well, you guys been watching anything crazy? Because
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you're still on that, huh?
Yeah.
How far-
What season
we're
are you
like
in?
halfway through season 4.
Oh, you are
We're-
fucking grinding, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
How-
Okay.
4 to 5 episodes a night.
How was-
If not more?
how was your red wedding reaction?
Oh my god! The entire time, like as soon as the chainmail is shown, I was like, "No! What? No!"
So now have you
The
gone and
whole
watched?
time.
Have you watched people's reactions to the red wedding scene? Because people recorded everyone that didn't know it was coming, and so
No.
these people are like losing their goddamn minds, and it's like, yeah, because that's very similar. Like, it's the further you go into the books, is the further the show diverges, because it like, yeah, whatever. But like that's pretty accurate, like to the books. So it's like you set up for like a book and a half that this Rob is gonna be like the king of everything, and then he just gets killed in the middle of the like fucking wedding party. So by Filch, and then everybody already hated Filch, but so they hate Filch even
was
more
amazing.
after that. Yeah. So
Never
Yeah,
seen
I
one
lost my
episode
mind.
of it. Yeah.
never seen one episode, man.
Never seen one episode
It's
of
really
it.
good. It's very,
I've
very
heard.
good.
I've heard it's
Yeah.
really good, and then I heard everybody hates the last season.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very much.
If memory serves me correctly, the last season was done before the books got
Oh, no,
to that
that-
point.
So this is what happened. The last book that came out was book 5, and that was in 2011. Game of
Right.
Thrones. So like, there were supposed to be 7 books. So like, yeah, it is the last couple books are a fucking nightmare, and then he stopped writing them basically. Supposedly he's written more, but it's like, I don't know. It's very much like you could tell, or at least I could tell, that this guy's going, I don't know where to go. Like, it's just like you could just tell he doesn't know what the fuck is going on, because like one of the last 2 books, like he split all the characters up into the 2 books, and like the one book is just like none of the characters that anybody gave a fuck about. So the book is just like whatever, and you're just like, man, George, you just like lose your mind, huh? You're just losing it. Losing it. And
Well, Stephen King did that too. Not every author's shit is going to be gold. Because, Stephen King, when he stopped doing cocaine,
Stuff kind of changed. I will say, if you haven't read one of his newer books called Fairy Tale,
I heard it was very good.
so good. I
heard it
want
was really
that one
good.
as it would either have to be a 2 to 3 part movie or an HBO series, but it would be amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, I read, there was a time when I had read almost all of his shit. That was in high school, so that was 1890.
I was gonna say 1894. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to get that before you.
Brian got
I graduated in 1996, so in the
Brian
early-
got out of this. He got out of the Civil War, and he was like,
out of the Civil War,
I
and
need
then I
to
enrolled in high school.
Oh, okay, Edward Cullen. Like, calm down.
yeah. So, but yeah, there was a time where I had read almost most of his shit, but I think the last thing I read by Stephen King was Under the Dome. So that's still pretty old.
This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
It's funny you mentioned King because I'm wearing my Overlook Hotel shirt. I love The Shining. I love The Shining, the book, and the Doctor Sleep book. I'm not a
good.
huge. I flip back and forth on whether or not I like Kubrick, but I do like the
Yeah.
way that they had to like combine
you
Doctor The Shining and Doctor Sleep's like endings to make them cohesive based on the movies instead
Well,
of the
right.
books. But
You never watched? Did you ever end up watching the director's cut? Like we had.
No.
She's
The
never
director's
watched.
cut of Doctor Sleep.
Yeah, which is vastly superior to the normal version of that movie.
I need
I
to
don't think there's
watch it.
anything wrong with the normal version, but I do agree that
Yeah.
the director's cut's even better.
Yeah, I think it's just they made him cut out too much shit, and it's just
I agree. Yeah.
It's just like it's more cohesive, right? And so that's what's kind of the thing. So
The thing is that like if Flanagan's done it, I want to watch it. Like there's
Yes,
still a
true
couple
story.
things that Flanagan's done that I haven't watched, but I love Flanagan.
I
So
I think he's brilliant. Yeah.
I need to watch. I need to watch the last series he did, and then that sleepwalking book or the sleepwalking night or sleep nightmare movie that he did about the little kid, and then
yeah,
I never watched the Ouija one either. The
that was pretty
Origin
good.
of Evil.
Yeah.
Origin of Evil.
Yeah, I never saw
Yeah.
that one either.
Yeah, he did. He didn't do the original one. He did the prequel.
Yeah, the original
Yeah.
one was real bad, but like
The The Fall of the House of Usher is great.
So good. So good.
Yeah. And it's very different than the others, which I
know-
love. I love that he's able to do that and actually be successful, and like how bad American Horror Story has always
Dude.
been when it comes to that.
have you
I
guys?
swear, with American Horror Story, the first half of those shows are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
I
then
agree.
the second half, it's just like they're like, well, we don't know what to do.
Yep, I've only seen a couple of seasons of AHS because the first one, I watched the first season with the one with like Dylan McDermott, and which I know a lot of these motherfuckers come back, but like I watched that and I thought the same. I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome, and then it just shit the bed after like halfway point.
I think
the
the
same
first
fucking thing happened for 1984 because I didn't watch another one until that one because I was like, oh, a summer camp slasher themed AHS, fuck yeah, sign me the fuck up because hey, everybody needs a good summer camp slasher, right? And then halfway through, it did the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the same thing
But
with
I
Cult.
still
The
actually
same thing
enjoyed
with
that.
the
Asylum, dude. Asylum is like,
pissed me off so bad.
Dude,
because
Asylum's
it
like-
was
it's-
so good.
And then you
could've
turn
been
it into-
so
yeah,
good, and then you throw
aliens and shit in
aliens
it.
into
I'm
the
like,
fucking mix, and you're like, what the hell? Same thing with Cult. Cult could have been so good, but it was so politically driven, which understandable. But then it just went to a left turn, and I was like, this is too much. And then the recent one, not the spider one, but the one I think before it, the one with like the HIV and AIDS breakout and stuff. I struggled with that one. I couldn't really get into that one.
I do that. The last one I watched was the witch one that was like in New Orleans or whatever, and I'm like, yep, this did not turn around into a state that I gave a fuck, and then that was season 3 or whatever, or 4 or whatever the fuck it was, and I'm just like,
Season
yep,
3.
yeah, I'm just like, this is you.
I like that one. And if you push through and you get all the way to the Armageddon series, it's really good.
I'm gonna ask before we bounce off. I was gonna ask you guys because I've been noticing. I swear to God, now all the hipsters on fucking like horror like media and stuff like Twitter and shit like that, shitting on Flanagan is like their new fucking favorite thing to do because it's like, oh yeah, and it's just like they shit on random Flanagan things. I'm just like, why are you like?
Yeah.
Have you noticed, Brian? You noticed that? Like it just.
I haven't noticed it because I don't get too caught up in social media anymore these days. But it doesn't surprise me that that's kind of the thing to do because it seems like that's the thing that everybody does when somebody starts to experience some real success. Like in the music scene, it's been really really cool to shit on Sleep Token lately.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
which
sorry.
is weird. I don't understand why everybody's shitting on stuff.
I don't get it
I don't
either,
know
'cause
enough
they're-
about.
Well, they're
everything,
fucking
but-
amazing.
Yeah.
But
So-
no. It's because you know why there's people don't like it is because all the metalheads hate when people get successful. But then too, it's the whole TikTok thing. They get mad because they got big as a baddie TikTok and whatever. So it's like they're like, "Argh," and it's like
Fucking stupid.
yeah, and Sleep Token isn't like traditional metal, right? They're like
No, it's
they're
not, but
it's
they definitely
weird.
are.
Yeah, but they're just weird shit, and it's just like. Yeah, I was thinking about going to see him last weekend, and then my tattoo went longer than I thought it was going to. I was like,
I would love to go see Sleep Token. Yeah,
They
I
were-
have all their shit on vinyl now. So
yeah.
my vinyl collection is fucking stupid. I picked up 2 dope ass Depeche Mode records this weekend.
I got a new record player coming that from my work that they were like a bunch of like high fives, and so you get these points and you combine points and like so I have a new record player coming because I couldn't find what I wanted, anything I wanted. Yeah. So
what kind of record player is it? You know,
I forget off.
Is it one of the suitcase ones?
No, it's not. That's the one I have already, and I'm like, oh, this sucks.
Okay, so it's an actual turntable, like an actual.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
one
you.
That could,
like all grossed up and stuff.
I know, something like that. It's one that you could connect to wireless speakers and shit like that, Bluetooth and shit. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys watch anything else before? I mean, Ken talked about Game of Thrones. Brian, anything?
No, I introduced my son to a couple of silly pseudo comedy horror movies this weekend. We watched Totally Killer.
I like Totally Killer.
Yeah, I like that. I like it too. And then we watched My Best Friend's Exorcism, which is based on the Grady Hendrix book.
I need to finish that or start that. I have it. I have a bunch of Grady Hendrix books.
Yeah,
I just haven't read them, and I want to read that one so bad.
Yeah, I'm in literally the exact same boat as you. I have I think 4 of his books, and I have not started fucking one of them. But I did already watch My Best Friend's Exorcism. And it's cute. It's pretty good. But yeah, that's what we did this weekend. So I really haven't watched anything new. I don't think.
I've been trying to like. I've been
playing Diablo. Playing Diablo 4.
Dude, nice. I only play that on my Steam Deck, and it makes my Steam Deck catch on fire. Like I told you, it's like
See, I play it on I play it on mine as well, and yeah, it really does. It sucks the fuck.
Dude, it gets hot and the battery lasts like 7 minutes. It's like Jesus Christ.
You got time to do like a dungeon and maybe level up your character, and that's
it just and I'm just like, holy fuck, you could bake bread on your fucking Steam Deck after you're done. You just like put a loaf of bread on it and it's just like woo. I'm trying to I'm finishing up Hannibal. I'm like already on the 3rd season, and I'm just like this show is wild.
It goes downhill.
Yeah. The end of the how they wrapped up the 2nd season, and I'm just like, and then I'm far enough into the 3rd season, I'm like, you're gonna tell me it's like Scream fucking 6, where like no one dies, even though everyone's like, Morbius gets stabbed in the neck, both the chick and him both get like fucking mortal wounds, and no one dies, and I'm just like, okay, this is like a soap opera at this point, and it's just like, I don't know. I think that like Hannibal's Summer Vacation isn't as good as the 1st season, and like it's just like whatever, but like I don't know. I'm gonna finish it. I that 1st season's perfect, and then it's just like it goes downhill a little bit, and like they kept Eddie Izzard around, so they just keep having these flashbacks where he's eating himself and shit like that, and I'm just like. Okay. Also, speaking of that, Brian Fuller was supposed to do the fucking A24 Jason show, and now it's the Jason verse or universe or whatever that they announced this week. Did you guys see that? Or it's like
no.
Yeah, I saw that. That's they did lose Brian Fuller as a showrunner for Crystal Lake, but they're still making the show, obviously.
They're doing the show and games, and
they did. They announced Jason Universe as basically the umbrella for their them basically trying to spread Jason Voorhees like the herp throughout all of the media.
Well, yeah.
And that tells me that they're going to be that very soon. There's going to be a new Friday the 13th video game announced.
He's supposed to be
I don't know who's going to be making it, but I would assume that they would probably go back to Gunn.
I don't know.
I would hope they'd go back
They're following that account is following.
Yeah. I hope they would go back to Gunn. I love Gunn. Yeah.
That account is following one account, and it's Fortnite. So Jason's going to be in Fortnite in the near future. Oh, yeah,
Jason will be in Fortnite. He'll probably be
absolutely. Michael Myers is in Fortnite.
Yep.
He'll probably be in Dead by Daylight, too. They'll probably
as well. Dude, I hate Dead
by Daylight.
I hate it.
I like that game, honestly.
The community is the most... It's like League of Legends. It's toxic, but... Yeah.
Rod, they all fucking suck. Okay? Every fucking video game community fucking sucks, man. The Fortnite community fucking sucks cock. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre community fucking.
Oh,
suck.
they're real bad.
They're rough.
They're rough. The Chainsaw community fucking sucks. The Dead by Daylight community fucking sucks.
They're all like
video game community does.
I always see Wes like quoting these morons, like when they're like, "Oh, this is why the Friday the Texas Chainsaw game is like this." And he's like, "Oh, I can't have a barbecue on the weekend, you fucking assholes." And it's just like, you people are fucking insane.
Yeah, they fucking suck. And honestly, like I wish I liked Gun. I don't though. I don't. And here's why I don't like Gun.
I mean, besides that, it's just...
No, that has nothing to do with it. That has absolutely nothing to do
I'm
with
just
it.
kidding. I busted your balls, right?
No, but very fair. No, I wish I liked Gun still, but I don't. And the reason I don't is because I genuinely don't think they do enough to support Chainsaw. I wish I thought they did. That game could be so fun, but that game is boring, dude. Like there's no
I haven't played it in a
reason
while
to play Chainsaw right now. And
Yeah.
it sucks because the IP is so good. The game is fucking gorgeous. The maps are well designed. There's no reason to play. And the reason there's no reason to play is they charge you for fucking everything. And they overcharge you for everything. Like one character is like fucking $10 or some bullshit.
Yeah.
And cosmetics are like $5 or something. I'm sorry, dude. You can charge for a killer in a map, or if you have if you make a new killer, charge for like the killer and the survivor that comes with it or whatever. It's similar the way that like Dead by Daylight does it, which is fine. But don't charge me for fucking reskins of fucking dresses that they already got in the game.
Yeah.
Because that's lazy, this game design.
Dude, and it's like the only
they
characters
have made a fortune on that fucking game. They have made an absolute fucking fortune on that game. And for them to go through and like charge you for fucking cosmetics, that can be unlockable shit in events or something like that. They don't give you a reason to play the game.
You know what they should be doing is doing the season pass thing where they just like unlock them all.
Fuck yeah, I would pay $10 for a season pass and a bunch of shit that you can unlock. Yeah. I don't know why they haven't done that. And to me, that would give you a reason to play the game. But like I check it all the time because I'm kind of a troll like that. And I admit I am, but like the player base is just like it hasn't broken 1,000 people on Steam in like fucking ages. That's sad, dude.
I remember Ken and I trying to play on the launch day, and it just like the only time we ever tried to play it's like stream together, and it was just a nightmare. It was like, I mean, it was like,
and I like the game. Like the game, mechanically, the game's fun as fuck. It's fun as hell.
Dude, the problem was with that game when you first started it, like those maps are so like all over the place. And they're well designed, but it's like you can like when that game started, you could go like an entire match and barely see the killers or the survivors. Yeah, you're just like So
I like the game, I really do, but there's just no reason to fucking play it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I just wish that they supported it differently.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that some of those motherfuckers need to grow up because they wanna have like this full transparency model with their community. And while I respect that, I feel like they don't really realize that you're gonna have assholes, and sometimes they be stooping to that level and shit. I'm just like, dude, like this is something that you didn't need to do at all.
I get that. I think that they're might engage with those people too much, and I agree.
I think so. Yeah, they feed into it a little bit.
Yeah.
They seem like really nice guys, though.
They are.
I mean, of course, I've met Matt, so I know Matt Shacha. He's a very nice guy.
Matt is awesome. I've had dinner with Matt. He's
Matt.
Matt
seems like a wonderful fucking guy, and they all honestly seem like pretty good people. 99% of that community is all of that team seems like they're really good people.
And that's what I was saying, like with Wes. Wes is the one who ends up retweeting the real bad ones, and I'm just the guy, CEO or whatever. And I'm just like, dude, you are giving these people attention that you don't need to be giving them. Yeah. So, okay.
Stop it, man.
Before we jump into the movie, jump in, I do have one thing. If you are a reader and you like horror books, I have 2 suggestions that I strongly recommend, as long as you don't mind smut and gore. The first one with smut is going to be Maeve Fly that's a whole weird ass adventure, very sexual, very bloody, very gory, very good. And then if you like stuff that's not smut but is like edge of your seat, incorporates theme parks and like horror and everything, strongly recommend Fantastic Land. So just throwing it out there.
Fantastic Land and
Fantastic
Mayfly.
Land. Yes, Fantastic Land is phenomenal. Mayfly took a bit to get into, but Fantastic Land, I got AJ to read it and he fell in love with it too. It's
Nice.
so good.
Dude,
so definitely recommend those.
Classy
yeah.
Katie was reading like a part of this book called like something about teenage massacre or something like that, like this book, and like it's about some chick who gets like put into a coma and then like it's like by bullies and then gets like psychic powers, and she literally like makes this character like shit themselves to death and then like explode. Like she shits everywhere and then like explodes, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? So that was an interesting. It's something teenage massacre or something. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Fantastic Land's great because it's like listed as horror and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, when's the horror coming? And like, what's going, like, yeah, this is unnerving. And then suddenly something big happens. You're like, oh, fuck. Like my jaw dropped. And then it's just nonstop from there. It's really
Nice.
Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, I'm back on my reading
No,
shit.
you're
so.
good. I gotta finish my book. I was reading a book my therapist suggested called "Many Lives, Many Masters." It's about reincarnation as like a real thing, and it's a real fucking interesting book. And I thought it was really cool. So I've been reading that, and I'm almost done. So yeah, yep.
Look at y'all reading.
I know. I can
Using
read.
words and
I can
wording
read.
the things and the letters and the words.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about Ready or Not from what 2018. Was it 2018?
2019.
2019. Ken, do you want to read the synopsis?
Absolutely. A bride's wedding night takes a sinister turn when her eccentric, I always say that word wrong, new in-laws force her to take part in a terrifying game.
Yeah. I want to say a couple things. One, the chick that fucks up and like kills a bunch of the wait staff on accident is the chick from Letterkenny, so I appreciated that. And two, this is like the first real big thing Samara Weaving had been in. She had been in the Babysitter movie like before this, which is fantastic, but like then there's a reason why she's barely in the sequel, because the sequel was made after this, so it's like very much like thing. And was this Radio Silence's first film, right? I believe.
No, it was like their first big film.
Oh, okay. Had they done little stuff before this?
They'd done some other things, yeah, but this is like their first big shit.
Yeah.
Then good old Radio Silence, IMDb. But yeah, you're right, because Samara Weaving hadn't really done a whole lot, but they did like they directed like the VHS movie, one of them. I think they.
Oh, okay.
I think they did one of those.
One of the segments.
Yeah. Yeah, they directed the segment in VHS, the original one, the 10/31/98. They directed that segment, and then there was another like Southbound, which is another I believe anthology type thing, and they directed 2 segments in that. But yeah, this is like I think their first big movie, but it's. Sorry, I guess they don't really get credited as Radio Silence for some reason in this. I don't know why.
I think,
but it very much is.
Oh
It
no,
definitely says it at the beginning.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe it's just under their they go by that as their production company or something now or some shit like that.
Well, it doesn't sound like directors, right? It sounds like a production company. So
Yeah.
So, Ken, what was your? This is your first watch. What was your initial impression?
I was so excited. Like it was very at first I was like, oh, okay, like, wedding, in-laws, blah blah blah, and then I was like, her dress is amazing, I love it. And then as it progressed, the more I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh. And then, and so I'm in Discord like typing because we watched it in Discord earlier today, and like every now and then I'd be like, oh my god, blah blah blah, like I can't believe this. And my biggest issue with it was at the end, like when he was like trying to convince her to be with him, and I was like, dude, how would she Why, like, what? But I do have a question regarding the end when we get there. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. There were moments where the pacing was kind of weird for me, but it was great. It was
So-
good humor, very funny.
Did
Yeah,
you
I think
get
this movie's hilarious?
Did you get what I said about the radio silence has a very particular kill they really like because it's the very end and then you go, oh, okay, we just watched Abigail and just people explode for fucking like forever and it's just like they always have to have their female heroine just like walking out of the movie just soaked in like viscera and like everything. And it's just like I'm
here
okay
for
with
it.
that. Yeah, I'm here for it too. Man, I want to say my favorite character in the whole fucking movie is the aunt who is just like she just looks like a
batshit.
I know she just looks like a fucking Disney villain just like put into real life and she has this like this wrinkle down the center of her fucking lip that makes her or like the center of her like upper lip or it makes her look like a bulldog or something like that like she's got like that dog split down the center of her fucking lip. I'm like, oh my god. But
They
the
did a
guy
great
fr-
job with her makeup too, making her look more sinister and crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. And her hairdo is like very much like she looks
Ursula.
like Ursula. Yeah, I mean the white hair and all that stuff is very much Ursula. The guy from was it not fucking what show was that dude from? Oh fuck. The brother of the husband.
Yeah, I had a feeling that's who you were talking about.
Yeah, he was on that show what the
Adam
fuck?
Brody.
Yeah, he was
yeah,
on
it's Adam Brody. Pretty sure that's who he's
What
talking
show
about.
He's been in a ton of stuff.
But he
The OC.
Yeah, the OC. That's like that. I think the first thing he came up in. I love him in the movie because he's just a fucking drunk who is just like obviously doesn't give a fuck, and like it's that weird thing where nobody believes him, but then like you're just like, oh okay, but then they're still gonna do it, and then when they just start exploding, it's just like, yeah. It's weird, man, because like. The whole speech where he gives about like rich people being different, it's like I can believe everything in this movie happening besides really like in real life besides the people exploding thing, but like I could see a rich family really doing something insane like this. It's like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Rich people ain't in touch, man. They've lived in such a fairy tale land for so long.
I mean,
they don't live in the same reality that
we
that
just
po folk live.
I mean, we
Like
just
me.
watched Late Night with the Devil, where the guy was like, talking about the crazy forest woods thing that's a real fucking cult society, right? And it's the same kind of thing where like rich people just doing whacked out shit because it like gets them power or whatever, and you're just like, oh okay, oh so that's why, oh okay, I get it now. Why? Oh. I do love Samara Weaving, man. She's a very gorgeous lady.
She's beautiful. Her eyes are so striking. That dress is phenomenal.
Yeah. It very much looked like an old timey dress to me, which makes even more sense. Kin loves it because Kin loves old timey things, but I think that her dress looked very old timey, and I like it. But man, it's just that thing where like, I kind of wish they would have let the kids explode on camera, but
Yeah, that was great because when they ran them out of the room, I was
That,
like, kids. Oh, here's
I
my
was
thing.
so upset they didn't, because I was such a sadistic. I
love watching children die.
I love watching kids get hurt. That's like one of my favorite Instagram.
My window's open, so I'm sure my neighbors.
That would have
love
been
that
like
one.
the ultimate for me
Yeah.
is to see them two little shit fucking little shit bags.
I have a question. When everybody explodes except for her, is she not considered part of the family? I missed.
No, it's
that
'cause-
part.
I'm assuming
something.
she's not because she's
She
not
won.
part of the family unless
No.
unless the ritual is complete.
I think it's because she won the game. Yeah, it was her
okay.
versus them, and when she won because they didn't perform the ceremony in time,
Yeah.
she doesn't explode. So it's like someone's gonna explode or someone's gonna die, and when they didn't like get her, they all exploded, and it's very much
Yeah.
it's funny because like this movie, the first time I watched it, Ken knows from just watching it today. It's like you're like, what is even happening? And you don't know which is one of the great things about this movie is you really don't know what's happening until like the very end where like I don't know if you guys were like this, like, but when I watched this in the theater, I was like, this is a bunch of bullshit, right? Like nothing's gonna happen. And then
I was curious.
Yeah, when that
I was
happened, I
like-
was like, "Oh, these people are super fucking out of touch. What do you do now?" And then that's why they were like, "Oh, well, what are we gonna do with her?" And yeah, I genuinely thought that it was just BS and nothing was gonna happen.
I wasn't sure. I was like, which way are they gonna go with this shit? I was definitely invested though, because I kind of think I would have been there for either one of them, but I'm glad they took it the way they did because seeing all those people go bloom de bloom was fucking.
well, dude, and I don't know if you guys know that or have like noticed this. The gif of her like smoking a cigarette at the very end is like one of the most like exhausted or just sick of it kind of gifs on the whole internet. That thing gets used all
Like
the
me
time.
on Friday after work or whatever.
Yeah.
The when she tells the cops in-laws, I felt it in my soul. Not now, but like my whole existence was just like,
Yeah,
wow. Like,
yeah.
can you imagine though, like going into a family and that being told to I would
Dude,
I
A couple questions, and now
would
just
die, to be honest. I wouldn't make my way out. Do you guys think you guys would have survived that?
Oh no way, no way, no way, dude. Like, I don't know.
No.
Like, two things too. Does she automatically? Okay, and I've seen people point this out before in the last couple months. Is she gonna get arrested for murdering people?
That's what I asked.
100%, yes.
And but
This movie doesn't have a happy ending.
I mean, two. Say she gets away with it. Self-defense proves it. They don't have enough evidence to charge her. Does she get the fortune?
That was the other thing we asked. We were talking about that in Discord because I was like, so like what are the police, how do you handle this? And they're like, oh, they'll burn the house down. And I'm like, okay, but she's outside coated in blood and guts and like everything else. She's not just
She
gonna
can go
walk
in and
away.
shower real quick and then light a match.
Oh,
Well,
but
she could have, but she didn't.
the house was burning
That's
down
true,
already
she
at that,
didn't.
I mean, and the house was burning down, right? So like the house is already burning down. That's what I'm saying. It's like I have a very hard time picking that they prove that she did anything because also like the blood.
There's no body.
Yeah. Oh, there's no bodies at all.
No
Like,
bodies.
but you have to ask because she fucking wallops. Who does she wallop in the mom? Right? She wallops the mom to death with the statue or
The
whatever.
box.
Oh, the box, yeah. You sit there and go, that is the only one that, like,
Yeah, that's right.
if the body didn't burn or the body didn't explode, like, if her mom's body just, like, also, she's gonna obviously point the cops to the goat pit that they call it.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
true.
just, yeah, it's just like,
That's true.
That is
like,
true.
there
This
are
might
ho-
have a less bleak outlook than I thought, actually.
I don't think it's gonna be. The thing is, the problem with like you accusing her of murder after this is that there's no evidence, and she only beat the mother to death, and it was I mean, all of it was self defense, but like, I mean, dude, that fucking little kid shoots her in the hand, and then she just hooks it in him in the face, and he's just like, yes! It's like, you're like, I don't know. It's just like I think one of my favorite moments in this movie, and I'm just like,
Yeah, when he's like, well, I shot her because that's what we were all doing. That's what everybody was doing. I was like, oh. Did you guys hear that story about the kid that was like 7 years old and shot a guy in his camper?
Yep.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this 7-year-old kid was staying with his grandfather, and his grandfather had a shotgun in his truck. And the kid didn't know this guy, didn't know anything about him, saw him walking around. He went out to his grandfather's truck, took the shotgun, shot the dude. The guy was dead instantly. Kid takes the shotgun back, puts it up. Nobody knows what happens. And then 3 years later, this kid gets in trouble at school for bullying a kid.
Mhm.
And he just brings up the fact that he murdered some guy. But because he was so young when it happened, they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I followed Tizzy Int, and he talked about that. I don't know if you follow Tizzy on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I heard that. I heard that from him. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me that's one that needs to be put down.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's
That one's
it's
no
very
good.
early. Like
Yeah.
you need to do something because that child is done. Like there's no coming. And
There
he was
is-
so nonchalant about it, and
Oh, yeah.
like he got in trouble for bullying because it wasn't that he bullied the kid. It like threatened the kid or something.
Yeah, he said something
And-
like, basically along the lines of "I killed once, I'll do it again" kind of thing.
Yeah, at 10.
Yeah.
Dude, if you have no care for human lives out there, that's like a sociopath, like through and,
Oh, yeah.
and that's like a sociopath who also has like not even afraid of being caught. And obviously he did it and got away with it for all that fucking time. It's just very much like that's the kind of shit that like
Nobody's going to expect a 7-year-old to have picked
Right.
up a shotgun and shot somebody in the head.
dude, the world is fucking wild, man. And that is very much very much a
Why
very
do
like
and people wonder why I love watching kids get hurt on Instagram. I'm telling you.
because they're funny, man. It's not like any of the they don't post videos of kids dying. It's just like them slamming their heads into stuff and like shit like that. Or it's
So funny.
I do enjoy those videos, Brian. Don't get me wrong. So
Oh, yeah.
it's very
Nothing puts a smile on my face
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
kid wiping out. It's sliding on his fucking melon for like half a block. It's so good.
Brian's like, why did he explode
I
off
love
screen?
children. I love children too. I have plenty.
Brian
I
has
already
enough.
get told all the time that I don't like kids because I have comments about butt liquor and everything, the Harrison butt liquor. So, like, you know, because like I was talking about how shitty it was, and people are like, well, some people like their kids. And I was like, I didn't say I didn't like kids. I'm just saying this, you know. So now everybody's going to be like, whoa.
Kid,
I'm watching one of my kids get married this week.
Yay.
Yeah, but by the time this episode drops, she will have been married.
Jesus Christ, Brian,
dang.
you got like you have enough to. Brian has enough children to like form a 5-person basketball team. I mean, come on.
Sorry. Yeah. No subs. No substitutes. No subs whatsoever.
Who needs substitutions? Oh, I mean, dude, I haven't played basketball in a long time, but that shit is just like that is so you forget how much cardio basketball is. It is just going running back and
we
forth,
seriously
and back
talking
and
about
forth,
basketball
back and
now,
forth,
Rod?
back and forth, back and forth. I don't fucking know, man. I was watching my buddy play the NBA game on Twitch yesterday, and I don't know. I'm thinking about basketball now. I don't know.
Yeah.
So with this like kind of blowing Samara Weaving up, but like the thing is like I don't even think that she's not been like doing a lot of giant things since this movie, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I was looking at. She did a movie called Azrael. She did a movie called Le Snob. She was in Scream 6. She was in Babylon.
Babylon. That movie did not go well, if I recall. So
Yeah, she's been in stuff, but like nothing seems to have been like amazing.
I mean, she's only in the.
Stuff coming up.
Yeah.
She was
She's
in the
got
opening.
7 things coming up.
Yeah, she was in the opening of Scream 6, which makes sense because Radio Silence did Scream 5 and 6, and yeah, it's very much like they kind of helped her like bounce off, but like her and it's funny because her and Margot Robbie kind of blew up right around this.
They
Margot,
look so similar.
yeah,
Somewhere.
and I was someone was saying like these two need to do something together. I'm like, yeah, it would be interesting to have Margot Robbie and her in the same film, and I don't know what they would do, but I mean, it's funny because Margot Robbie now just kind of gets like associated with Harley Quinn, so maybe you give her play another Harley Quinn. Too many Harley Quinns.
No, we already have Lady Gaga doing a Harley, so
Oh yes, I can't believe they put the amount of money they did into that movie and as a musical, and I'm like,
wait, did it come out yet?
no, it's coming out this fall, but like, I think they spent like 200 million or 150 million on a musical, R-rated musical. I'm just like,
Speaking of budget, this movie they had a budget of $6 million.
damn.
And they made 57. Where did it go? 57,615,000.
Damn. So I mean, even if you double the budget, so it's like usually a time and a half, or I mean 1.5 times like the budget.
Yeah,
So it's like you put another 24 million on top of
they
it.
killed it.
Yeah, they still made.
What'd you say the budget was again?
$6 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and they brought in 57, almost
bad.
58 million.
By the way, Samara Weaving and Margot Robbie have been in a movie together.
Oh, had they?
Babylon.
Oh, was it? I haven't seen Babylon. That movie looked wild. It looked.
Yeah.
Was that was the World War II one, right, or whatever? Like the was it
I don't
World
know,
War
man.
II?
It looked weird. I never watched it.
Yeah, it was like a.
I didn't think it looked bad, but it looked weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I don't mind weird movies.
I
mean,
definitely
obviously.
don't mind weird.
I mean, but yeah, it was, again, I would have known if I had watched Babylon, but I haven't. So, yeah. I think it's funny that like they did do the how Abigail ends with this, like all these people exploding like this movie, like I have to keep talking about, because it is so that this movie is actually not all that violent if you really think about it, because it's most of the kills are like the one chick killing people on accident. she shoots she shoots the one chick in the face, and then she that crossbow into that other chick's mouth was like such a perfect shot. You're just like, man, this bitch is like a sharpshooter, just like
an accidental sharpshooter.
Yeah. Why does this keep happening to me? Oh, man, it's just like every single one of this, like everyone besides the husband. For the husband, most of the movie, you're like, oh, okay, he actually has her back until the very end, and he just
well, until it comes down to it,
yeah, and you're just like, you just did all this shit, turned on your and then you turn on your like brand new bride like at the very end after like helping her try to get through and all that shit. You're just like, oh man, you people. Even when he tries to break away from his family, he can't, right? So
I
Yep.
love this movie.
I do.
It was a good ride. It was
think this
definitely a
movie's a
good
blast.
ride.
I think this movie does show like how talented these two are, the Radio Silence guys, because it like it gives you that like it's never like scary, but it's like tense, like very like tense, and like you're very much like, oh, what's happening, and like it gets that
They
thing where
were, I think they were the right choice for the Scream franchise when the Scream franchise needed a resurrection. you
Yep.
know? But do you think they would be good for any other existing IPs with their style?
I don't know, man, because the one thing about them, and I don't know if they write their own scripts.
They have a producer that they work with pretty regularly. But I don't know if he's necessarily part of the writing team. But I do believe that they wrote this movie.
So I don't have any problems with them writing this movie. I think Scream 6.
Oh, they did not. They did not write this movie.
Okay, Scream 6 is the one that the writing in that movie just drives me nuts because of the whole like.
It's kind of lazy.
It takes away all the stakes, right? It takes away all the stakes.
I have the same issues you have with Scream 6, I think, are the same issues I have that nobody dies. Like, everybody that dies is like a brand new character.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, the ending of that movie where the Fab Four all get fucked up and no one dies.
The core four. God damn it. If you're going to be a fucking fan, I know the shit.
I hate
Cuba
that fucking...
Gooding Jr.'s son said it multiple times.
Was that Cuba's son?
His name. Yeah, that is Cuba Gooding Jr.'s son.
And he's the perfect example. That motherfucker should have died in Scream 5, and then in Scream 6, he's getting like shish kebabbed and doesn't fucking die.
He's gonna be the $1 million man by the time this shit's fucking done.
You just can't do that because I mean you can't say that with a Scream 5. Like Scream 5, they kill Dewey, right? But
They kill Dewey, yeah.
And the Scream 6, Courtney Cox should have died. The fucking
Courtney
3 of the kids.
I think trying to remember. I don't think they killed another major character at all in Scream 6. I don't think they did.
They just.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I've only seen it a couple of times.
The deaths in Scream 6 are real limited. They kill the girl in the apartment, and then. Yeah. The one that was on the ladder.
Yeah. And then they killed the dude that old girl was banging the fuck out of in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
Or wait,
And-
did they? No, I don't even remember.
They
I'm not
kill-
gonna lie.
they
That
ki- I
movie
think-
was fun, but it's kind of forgettable.
Yeah, they don't kill anyone. I mean, they killed the Samara Weaving at the beginning. They killed the kid, the Flash Thompson from the Spider-Man movies gets killed because
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and who was also in the Grand Budapest Hotel, right? So like,
I like that movie.
I love that movie. I love
Yeah,
that movie.
I like that movie.
But yeah, it's that thing where you're like, you just take away the stakes, and that's why I love this movie because they do have stakes, and like they try to kill her, and they do a really good job, and then I do wonder though, why if you're the fucking butler in this movie, would you really try to help these motherfuckers out?
Oof. Yeah,
Why?
I guess I don't know. Why not?
Because they're obviously assholes. Why would you help these fuckers?
Well,
the bitch is like,
they are a product of their generation, their family's generation before them. So at the same time, you got to do kind of take into consideration the fact that they're actually a lot of these people, they're actually victims as well. You know, and now with that being said, sucks to be them because you know what I mean.
Well, because the son, like, that's his whole thing. He's like, I wanted out. I tried to get out. There's something wrong with doing this. There's nobody, we shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
And
But then he gets almost to the point where he's gonna die, and he handles it like a lot of people would handle it.
Salt pussy.
I mean, if you were in his position, it would be very hard, like as a human being. I'm not saying I would turn on his wife like he did, but like you're sitting there going, "I'm about to fucking die if this is true," and it's like the thing would be like believing it, right? Wouldn't it? It would be like believing that they were actually going to die, but like
Yeah, because at this point, I don't even think he's necessarily convinced that it's real. Like the rest, like the viewers, like us viewers watching the movie, we're like, well, we don't even know if this is like real or not. You know, we know that these people are really crazy and these people are really killing these people, but because it's been so long, the curse has been, or the curse or whatever, the pact had been done so long ago that, then of course they never broke the pact also.
Yeah.
So-
The only supernatural thing that happens in this entire movie before the end is the card, right? Like the card kind of like, and they just kind of like float that off to the box, right? Whatever the fuck this box is. But like nothing else supernatural happens before that point. So you're sitting there going, oh, okay, these guys sold them as Brian cracks his own neck.
Yeah, that felt good too. I'm not gonna lie.
every time somebody does that, I'm worried they're gonna die.
Next time I do that, I'm just gonna fucking drop dead.
No.
I want to see you panic a little. Oh my god!
Brian died
No.
live on the internet. Live on the internet. No, it's one of those things where it's like that. It's very much, it sells this whole movie is like just crazy rich people, and then they do blow up, and you're like, oh, so the guy really did sell his soul to the devil. And I don't know. You start kind of think. I don't know. I don't know if you guys kind of felt the same way as me. Like, you start going when they start going hail Satan towards the very end of the movie. You're like, oh, it is more than like they know, because they kind of. I don't know if you guys get this too. They kind of sell it like they don't really know what they're doing. Like they sold their soul to the devil until like the very end, and then they're like, hail Satan. And they're like, oh, okay, they know what's happening and blah blah blah. But like, what is happening in Brian's house?
Apparently, a drag race spawned outside my house.
Fast and Furious! Tokyo Drift!
Vin Diesel's out there screaming "family" over and over again.
That's okay. Now I think I probably heard this in Kin's chat, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Why do people in the South never do reverse cowgirl?
Why?
Because you never turn your back on family.
Oh my god.
That's a good old incest joke. Ah.
Yeah.
Gotta love them incest.
Good old incest joke right there. You get it? Because he's fucking his sister. He's fucking
My
his
sister,
sister.
cousin, wife.
Good
Oh,
old Rocky Top.
Rocky Top.
Rocky Top, Tennessee, which makes no sense, by the way, because the Rockies are not in Tennessee. That's the Appalachians.
Yeah.
But there we are.
I mean, can
Is there a town called Rocky Top, Tennessee, though?
There might be, but it's UT's fight song, and it's the state's song. So
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, Tennessee's so bad that Ken has moved out of the country to get away from it. So.
Rocky Top is a city in Tennessee.
It doesn't surprise me. I almost said there's a lot of cities in Tennessee.
Yeah,
Ken-
it's got a
Ken, how many-
population of 1,700 people, so it's a super
sounds
small
right.
town.
I mean, that's 3 times as many people as where Ken's living right now. So,
Yes, this is true.
I mean,
Top Tennessee.
Ken is in a town so small that it's the 10th of Letterkenny. Letterkenny is a big
It's
city.
very
Ken.
tiny.
Letterkenny.
How many
Letterkenny.
people?
600.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Yeah.
the high school. The one girl that lives here, she was telling me that her high
the
school.
one girl that lives here.
Well, I mean, there's more than one, but the girl that's like kind of my age, but it turns out she's a lot younger than me. Her graduating class was like 4.
Oh,
people.
wow. I work with a guy that graduated with a class of like 8 or some shit like that, and
So wild.
yeah, he used to go to a massive school, but then like his junior and senior year, he finished out in this very, very, very small town in Missouri, and he was a baseball player, but they didn't have enough people to fill a team, but they had a softball team. So he went his junior and senior year, he played softball for the school, and like was voted like MVP of the whole district for like those last 2 years because he was like crushing. He looked like Albert Pujols out there, apparently just smashing the
That's
fuck out of
funny.
the ball.
It's
Because he was a very, very good baseball player going into it, and then you're gonna throw beach balls at me. I'm gonna fuck those things up.
it's like when an overly aggressive dad starts playing like
Yeah.
t-ball with little kids,
Yeah.
and he's just like, oh, "Fuck you!" and just like fucking
fucking
slamming
run it out.
I'm gonna hit this into the next county.
Oh, shit.
Ken, so how many people in your Discord had never seen this who watched it for the first time?
Most of the people that were in there were 2 that had seen it, but everybody else hadn't seen it.
Everybody dig it?
Yeah, they all liked it.
Cool. I'm just tired of Owen shitting on my movie choices for the podcast every week. She has this Irish individual who loves to troll me, and he's like always shitting on the movies. Like, why do you pick such shitty movies? And I'm like, I don't choose half the movies, Owen, but you just keep being you and saying blaming everything on me. So
Jesus Christ.
keep blaming everything on me. I have feelings too, you know. I have feelings too. I have feelings. Oh shit,
Do
man.
you
I mean-
though?
I think so.
No, that's a no.
No, fuck.
Fuck. To think about it.
Fuck! Okay. Well, what? Anything else we want to say before we wrap up with Ready or Not, and then figure out what we do next?
I love it, and I'd like to see these guys take on something else soon.
I mean, this is 2 Radio Silence movies in a row. We at one point we did back in the day. Kid had never seen a Scream movie, and when 5 was coming out or 6 was coming out, 6 was coming out, I think we did.
Oh, so you had to catch up then.
Yeah.
Oh,
we did,
fantastic.
We did all of them, including Courtney Cox and her
And her bangs.
and her bags.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny. I was listening to Katie Peters do what was she fucking watching? She was just watching. Oh, she was watching Clueless, and somehow she turned it into the bangs from Scream 3, and I'm just like, oh no, not the bangs from Scream 3. Scariest thing in the Scream 3 is the bangs. Still can't completely blame Scream 3. That movie got pretty fucked up by Columbine. Fucked that movie up real bad. So So.
Whoa, excuse me? What are you
So
talking about?
their whatever plot they had written up for Scream 3 involved the high school violence again and the Columbine, so they had to rewrite it, and that's why Scream. That's why one of the reasons why Scream 3 is such a mess. But
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
just thought it was I just thought it wasn't the best creative decision necessarily, because it happens sometimes. I mean, let's look like it's not like everything Wes Craven made was fucking gold.
what do you? I mean,
You know,
he did make a. What was that? Is it vampire? What was his vampire movie? No, I'm thinking John Carpenter.
Vampire in Brooklyn, like Wes Craven's vampire movie, the Eddie Murphy one.
I've never seen that one.
You never seen it?
Yeah. Oh no, I'm thinking of Ghosts of Mars. That was
That was a John Carpenter movie.
Was it John
Pretty
Carpenter?
bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking all those weird like early 2000s like horror movies that like nobody liked, you know. So
Well, I don't even think Ghosts of Mars came out in the two. I think that was still in the 90s.
was it?
Yeah,
Ice
but there was some pretty bad horror movies in the 90s too. And there were some good ones, obviously, like Candyman and Scream movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the 90s actually had a pretty shit horror, because think about like let's take us all back younger when we were going to Blockbuster. You remember all those bad Dimension films, horror
Yeah.
movies that Blockbuster fucking had,
Yeah.
and they all had really cheesy fucking VHS artwork.
Yeah.
But not like the good cheese, like Trick or Treat, like shitty cheese.
I mean, they had the Jack Frost movie, which that I still have never seen, but I've seen.
I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never seen that actually.
Brandon
I
Tennant
made
did
a
all the-
concerted effort to not watch that movie.
Well,
It looks pretty bad.
It is the most like you could tell that they're shooting it in California, and they're like supposed to be a snowstorm, and like you're just like, no.
I got a quick story for you guys
What's up?
before we head out. So, where I live in Independence, Missouri. It's a suburb of Kansas City. I live about a block away from this historic mansion called Vale Mansion. I think I've mentioned it in the past. It's very gothic, very cool looking fucking building. It's awesome. It's beautiful. It's massive. They just shot a movie right outside. They used it for the exterior of a psychiatric facility, I think is what they're going to use it as. But it's a horror movie. I think the production title was called The Live-In, but some production company from California was just here, and they shot 2 nights. And I had to drive home on lunch so I could let my baby boy outside so he could go to the bathroom. And when I was driving home, they had these fog machines out, and it looked fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Of course, it was like midnight, you know, and they had these big booms and lights and shit. And the fog was about, no more than like 2.5 feet off the ground, but it was like thick for that low 2.5 feet right above the ground. It was just thick ass fog. It looked fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the movie's gonna be worth a fuck, but at some point, a movie is coming out that is has using the outside of the Vale Mansion that's like right down the street from my house.
Dude, that
that was kind of neat.
That sounds
That's
awesome.
really cool.
It sounds like what it reminds me of when you're talking about like those Malignant shots. Where the foggy Seattle thing, and just like that house, and just like fog, man. You do it right, it could be really fucking cool. That sounds dope.
Yes.
Okay, who wants to pick the movie for next week? Will you guys have a movie you want to watch?
I don't really have anything in mind.
Cause
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make next week's episode or not. What day are we recording on?
I mean,
Because I got to go out of town this weekend.
Oh man, you
We
are.
can
We'll talk
dick
about
off whenever you want.
it. Yeah, we could dick the dick. Awesome. We could semen everywhere. Well, the only thing. So I've been thinking about doing at some point. I watched Infested, the French movie. Maybe we do that. That would be interesting.
That'd be cool.
I'm down.
Killer spiders. I like that. I thought
Killer
it was
Spiders not being killed by John Goodman? Okay.
dude. John Goodman would have fit right in on that movie, man.
Oh,
yeah. So let's do that.
French
then, like,
John Goodman.
Yeah.
I'm down.
French John Goodman. Dude, John Goodman is the same thing as Kevin Smith, where you have that like heavyset dude, and he loses all the weight, and he looks like he doesn't look like Kin, who lost all her weight and looks like her head doesn't look like it's too big for her body, unlike John Goodman and like Kevin Smith, like both.
Yeah, they look. I'm happy for them though.
Yeah.
John Goodman lost. Yeah, he lost a shitload of weight.
Do you know Kin lost 180 pounds?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Kin lost 180
Gained
pounds.
back about 25, but yeah.
But Kin,
Okay.
Can stop giving hard.
You lost
being
how
hard-
much?
185 pounds.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
She
That's
lost
amazing.
a.
That's awesome.
She lost a person.
Thank you.
That's like more than a person. That's a person and a half.
So I'm back to running now. I've been running like 4 miles a day. So, well,
Okay.
running and walking, but
Now we're gonna do the Running Man nest. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you guys want to talk about Running Man?
I love the Running Man, dude. I love that movie. Okay, we will wrap up, and maybe Brian will be here, and if not, Ken and I will talk about Infested, which is pretty dope. So.
infested.
Oh, there's also the other. Maybe we'll do that the week after. There's the other Spider movie that came out. What's it called? Like,
Cobweb?
no, Crawl. It's not Crawl. It's something like that. But,
Crawl's
like,
about alligators.
I know. I can't think of the fucking name of it. Whatever. Okay, so go to continue.com and get all her stuff and her schedule and all these
Also,
things.
the other sites back up and doing stuff.
Yes. Go watch Ken's spicy her Fansley. It's Fansley, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Go watch that and watch Ken be sexy. And then Brian's gonna make you watch his thing, so go there. We put the link in the show descriptions, so you go do that. What's the next one you got watching?
What is the next one? That's a great question. I think we are going to talk about Reanimator. Yeah. We're
Nice.
Gonna
Oh,
we're
how-
gonna make Warren watch Reanimator.
how did the 3D? You guys were watching what? Jason.
Oh yeah, I could have told you guys about that, and I will tell you about that since you guys ain't gone yet. We did. We made Warren watch Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, and it was a fucking blast. It actually looked pretty damn good. I was impressed on how the ripping ripping it from what the blah bling bling things and all the things and the compression and whatnot. But it was still very watchable.
Good.
It was fun.
Nice.
Dude,
And he had a good time with it. He had a lot of fun with it. It's
That
not one of
movie-
my favorite Fridays.
No,
but it's
just because every single 3D shot in the movie feels so incredibly forced that it's just
because they were,
Yeah.
they were forced because
Yeah.
the way they had to film 3D back then was you had to be very direct, like so you can literally see them like looking back at the camera.
like, dude. The eyeball one, the
know, so
eyeball,
they can-
where the eyeball comes at the screen is probably the best one out of all of them. But
Yeah.
like yeah, most of them are just like I'm
Most
gonna
of them
play.
are pretty bad.
I'm
But
juggling in
it worked.
3D. Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, the juggling and the yo-yo and shit like that. But the yo-yo shot actually made Warren go, whoa, like that because it came right at him and he was just like, whoa. He actually said something. He's like, oh man, that kind of made me jump back.
That's pretty funny. Okay, yeah, we'll be back
Yeah, it
next
was a
week.
lot of fun.
Watch Infested. Brian might be here. He might. I mean, he is a vampire.
Unless I
and
get
so,
into
or-
a fight at my daughter's wedding, like us hillbillies like to do.
unless he gets his head cut off like a Highlander because he went to high school in 1864. So yeah, we got. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week, and so whatever. So, love you. Have a good one, and take it easy. Bye.
Bye.